Florianópolis, also known as Floripa, is a city in the south of Brazil, and in my opinion it's the best city in Brazil. So in this video I'm going to take you through all the things that make this such a great city. So let's begin. So Florianópolis is the capital of the state of Santa Catarina, which is in the south of Brazil. Now it's not one of the biggest cities in Brazil, it's got a population of 500,000 people, and it's the second biggest city in Santa Catarina. Now the city is situated on the coast, and it's actually partly on the mainland and partly on an island, and it's connected by 3 main bridges. And Florianópolis is known for its really nice beaches, and these beaches are located on the island part of Florianópolis. And because of these nice beaches, the most important industry in Florianópolis is tourism, and in the summer months, so that's kind of December until March, the population of Florianópolis explodes to over 1 million people. And Florianópolis also has a nice climate, so in summertime the temperatures range between 25 and 35 degrees Celsius, so that's 80 to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And in wintertime it doesn't get very cold, temperatures can fall to 10 degrees Celsius, which is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so why is Florianópolis such a great city? So first of all, I don't live in Florianópolis, I live in a small town in the countryside. It's about a 5-hour drive from Florianópolis. And I love my little town here in the countryside, but if I had to choose a city to live in, it would definitely be Florianópolis. I'm not the only one that thinks Florianópolis is a great city, so I know a lot of Brazilians and foreigners who have recently moved to Florianópolis. And also the population of Florianópolis has increased a lot over the last 10 years. So the population of Florianópolis has increased 27% over the last 10 years. And that's the highest increase of all the cities in the south of Brazil. So that's another indication that people really like Florianópolis and they're moving there. And Florianópolis is also becoming very popular with tourists. So if you look at the Airbnb list of most searched cities in Brazil, Florianópolis is near the top. Okay, so the first reason why I think Florianópolis is such a great city are the beaches. So Florianópolis has got loads of really nice beaches where the water is warm, really clear, really nice sandy beaches, and lots of vegetation behind the beaches. And just naming a couple of really nice beaches, you've got Praia de Jurerê in the north of Florianópolis. In the east of Florianópolis you've got Praia de Campeche, also Praia de Mozambique is very nice. And actually my favourite 2 beaches, they're a bit more difficult to get to. One of them is on the island of Campeche. So that's a small island off the coast of Florianópolis. You need to take a boat there, and there the beaches are very, very nice. It reminds me of the beaches in the Caribbean and Hawaii. Really warm, crystal clear water. The beaches are gorgeous. You can also do various trails there, walking around the island. So it's very nice. And the other beach is in the south of Florianópolis. So it's the Praia do Lagoinha do Leste. This is also a bit more difficult to get to. You can't just drive and park near the beach. No, you have to take a trail and you have to walk there. That's another really lovely beach, and it doesn't get very crowded because it's a bit more difficult to get to. In my opinion, it's definitely worth going there. Okay, so the second reason why I think Florianópolis is such a great city is because it has 2 lagoons or lakes. So it's got Lagoa de Conceição and also Lagoa de Peri. So these are 2 massive lagoons in the middle of the island, and it's very beautiful there, and people can go swimming, you can do some water sports, you can do stand-up paddling, kayaking, some sailing as well. Now Lagoa de Conceição is more in the middle of the island. In here you've got loads of restaurants and bars along the lake as well, so here you can sit down and have a nice meal and enjoy the scenery and the lake as well. And in the nighttime as well, it's got a pretty good nightlife around this area as well. There's lots of bars and stuff, and so it's pretty active during the day and also the evening. Now Lagoa de Peri is a bit different, so that's further south. It's a national park, so it's a preservation area. So here's a lot more nature and a lot less buildings, so there aren't that many options for restaurants and so on. But I actually prefer this lake because there's a lot more calmer, more nature around you. And here again you can go swimming, you can do some water sports, and it's really nice. Okay, so the third reason why I think Florianópolis is great is because it's quite a calm and relatively safe city. And because it's a coastal city, it's got that kind of more relaxed vibe about it compared to cities like Sao Paulo and Brasilia, where it's just more intense. In terms of crime is lower in Florianópolis compared to other cities. So you can see here that it's got a crime rating of 49 compared to 70 in Sao Paulo and 77 in Rio. This is just a general crime indicator, and it includes everything from petty crime to serious crime. And then if we look at homicide rates and more serious crimes, again you can see that Florianópolis has a lot lower rate at 12 compared to other cities like Rio, which is 30, and then other cities in the north as well, which are very high. But saying that, crime still happens in Florianópolis. There are still muggings, carjackings, burglaries, and Florianópolis even has a couple of drug gangs that fight each other to gain control of the city. So there still is some crime in Florianópolis. You still have to be a bit careful, don't walk around showing your mobile and your wallet, and just take some precautions. But when I go there, I feel a lot safer there than I do in Rio de Janeiro, Porto Alegre, Salvador, Fortaleza in the north. Florianópolis is definitely a lot safer than these cities. Okay, so the fourth reason why I think Florianópolis is such a great city is that it's relatively a small city, but it's still big enough to have all the things that you want. So if you go to the city center, which is the part near the bridges, there you've got some big shopping malls, got lots of restaurants, cafes and bars. So if you're kind of wanting to have a Starbucks or something, it's all there in the city center. And it's got some really nice historical buildings as well. It's got a mercado público, so a public market, where lots of different small restaurants and stores as well. I really like going there. And then you also got Avenida Beira-Mar Norte as well, which is the main road along the coast. And here we've got lots of nice restaurants and bars again, and people go there to enjoy the sunset as well. So it's another nice area. And so Florianópolis is this mix of really nice beaches, nature, but it also is a big enough city where you find everything that you need. And the fifth reason why I think Florianópolis is a great city is the fact that it's not that expensive to go there on holiday. So here, for example, on Airbnb, so I've just selected a week in January. Now, I haven't selected over in Christmas and New Year because then it's a lot more expensive, but I've chosen a week in January for 2 people. And you can see here that if we zoom in here, this is the north kind of Jurerê area. You can rent an apartment for 600 reais. If we click on this one, for example, so it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, and that's 500 reais per night, which is basically $100. So $100 per night, and you're basically really close to a nice beach in Florianópolis. This is quite a fancy posh area. So if you were to look in other areas which are a bit less fancy, so you've got Praia de Ingleses, for example, and here you can rent an apartment for 300 reais per night. So that's $60 per night. Just clicking on one here, for example. So it's also a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, and that is $60 a month. Now, buying a place in Florianópolis, that's another story. So prices are pretty high to buy a place in Florianópolis. So if you look at this website here, for example, you can see that the cost per square meter in Florianópolis is 9,000 reais. So that's close to $2,000 per square meter. And if you can compare that, you can see it's basically the same in Sao Paulo and Rio. And it's a lot cheaper in other areas, like the cities in the north of Brazil, like Salvador, Fortaleza. So it's definitely a pricey city if you want to actually buy a property there. And just to show you a couple of examples. So if we zoom in again on Jurerê here in the north, you can see here to buy an apartment, you're going to be spending over $1 million reais, over $200,000. So just clicking on one just to show you. So this is a 2-bedroom apartment, 1 parking space, 90 square meters, and that is 1,400,000 reais. It's close to $300,000 to buy this apartment. And like I said, Jurerê is an expensive area in Florianópolis. So if we were to go to Ingleses, where it's cheaper, here you can buy an apartment for less than $1 million reais. So just click on one to show you. So it's a 2-bedroom apartment, 119 square meters, a lot bigger. and this is 848,000 reais, which is $170,000. So buying an apartment in Florianópolis isn't the cheapest. Lots of cheaper cities, especially in the north. But you don't need to buy an apartment in Florianópolis to enjoy the city. You can do what I do. So I bought a house in the countryside. Like I said, it's about a 5-hour drive from Florianópolis. In these smaller towns is a lot cheaper. So my house cost less than $100,000. And then I also invested in an apartment near Florianópolis, so it's about an hour's drive from Florianópolis, really near the beach, and that again I bought for less than $100,000. And so in summertime, when I'm going to spend time at this beach apartment, I can easily drive to Florianópolis for an hour, enjoy Florianópolis and the city and the beaches there, and then just drive back to my apartment in the evenings. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. So like I said, I think Florianópolis is a great city, but it's not going to be for everyone. So if you're like looking for a city with great job opportunities and such, it's going to be Sao Paulo. And also if you want, the really exclusive stores and restaurants and stuff, again, it has to be Sao Paulo, which is basically the economic capital of Brazil. But if you're after a calmer, smaller city, then I think Florianópolis is one of the best. So if you like this video, leave a like, subscribe to my channel. If you've got any questions, leave it in the commentary below. So thanks for watching, until next time.